Hey YouTube, so I started with the Fantasy Cup and I got some thoughts because I started with team number one. It didn't work. I'll go through the thought process of each team and then go over why you should be running Flygon if you have it because it is so strong. So let's start with team number one. Team number one was Escav double fairy slash water. It was mentioned in the comments below by Alfie's Mullet. And he mentioned like this team, and I was like, okay, this team kind of works because you're like, there's not a ton of electric, there's like not a ton of grass, so right off the bat they're okay. Sludge is like poison, your only kind of issue. Steel will deal with the poison to a certain extent because you have Drill Run, so it kind of works in that. So I started with this, and then there's a couple of things that I kind of noticed right off the bat. So Turtonator is interesting. Like, you have a pretty good matchup overall. Water Gun here, and the Surf will be able to take it. But like these Incineration resisted Dragon types moves are also doing a lot, which is surprising. The issue that I found with this team is the first was the moveset on Azumarill. I started with Hydro Pump. Play Rough Hydro Pump is what I started with. And then I noticed that there was a lot of Flygons and there was a lot of just like dragons where I'm like, I wish I didn't have to go all the way to Play Rough. I wish I could just have an Ice Beam. So then I took off Hydro and I put on Ice Beam Play Rough, and then I used it as a safe swap, and the first thing I met was a Registeel. So I was like, okay. So it's truly that the moveset is one of those like annoying, man, if this thing ever gets like access to 3 or 4 moves and you can like put 3 or 4 moves on your Pokemon, this thing will just become so much better because you just have so much coverage. And then with Escav was an interesting one. You would think that with all the steals, with all the highly ranked steals, that a counter user would be better than I felt it was. I think my main issue was that there was so many there's a lot of Azumarills where counters resisted. There was a lot of Turtonators and Flygons, or so Turtonator with the fire just lights you up, and then Flygon was kind of like it's kind of an evenish matchup because you are technically doing neutral because it's not a flying Pokemon, right? It is a ground dragon Pokemon, so it counters neutral. It's just like those mud shots, like as you see here, really add up. Luckily, I have Aerial Ace on it, so it's just a quicker charge move to throw here, and we ended up CMPing on this, so that was kind of nice there. And then Tapu. So I have Nature's Madness on it. I Elite TM'd it. I had one, not amazing IVs, but it was below the 1500. So I put it on. I used an Elite TM, and then there's your Azumarill everywhere. So I used the Elite TM on it, and then I don't know. It's just like, it's significant. And I'm not surprised it's significantly worse in the Great League than it is in the Ultra League because the meta is set up better for it to work better in the Ultra League. It has the bulk that just the Great League is lacking, and the lacking Great League really kind of affects the matchups here. I do get hit with a Hydro, so I'm like, okay, that's annoying. And now Scizor, as you see, this is actually my seeing how it did against these two Pokemon was the sort of crux for me going to it on the third team here. So yeah, so after a couple matchups and after the Registeel safe swap issue, and then I was just like, I'm not loving this team. So we'll let this matchup play out, and then we'll go to that. So I thought maybe I can like just farm down here, shield, but these bullets punches are adding up after that Trailblaze. Ow. Sorry, just like rolled my ankle. After that Trailblaze buff. And now they're coming. Their Azumarill, which just has the bulk. And they're going to take me low, and then I think I'm just in trouble in the back here. Yes, so even though they have a fire Pokemon that only has Power Punch coming at me, like this is just like the true glassiness of this Pokemon. Why I was just disappointed with it. So these are resisted fire punches coming at you with now a resisted Power Punch on a non-stat Pokemon that they just like farm me down. Like, come on. So I was like, okay, that's not happening. So that one is out. So then I decided to do Azumarill double steal. And like sort of like right off the bat, it's just like, oh, like grass Pokemon are kind of interesting because like I saw a couple Whimsicots, so I was like, okay, that's rough. Um, and then there's like Flygon, which is also an issue for these steals, and Flygon still does like okay against the Azumarill. Um, and then there's like some water Pokemon that you can get. Yeah, like, and then so if you have like an Azumarill or a Tapu in the back on their team and you draw that out, it's still like so what? Then you have at best a mirror match in the front. So it's just like, I don't think this combo works either. So we'll play out the couple matchups and then we'll go maybe one matchup since we're already 6 minutes in. I'll just play with this matchup and then I'll stop it and then I'll go to the actual team that I ran with for a bit. I started off so strong with the team, and then it all fell apart in the second half. So we'll just play this one out. I'm going for the aggressive farm down, have shield advantage. Turtonator's going to come in. I'm going to get off a drill run. This will be super effective. So if they let it go, I can just try and go double shield Azumarill. I can live if it's just Dragon. I still may shield. I now let the first one go. It is Dragon Pulse, so that's great. And now it's a mirror match, and thankfully I have 2 shield advantage and energy advantage, so that should be able to just sweep the rest of this. And I think they top left, if I'm not mistaken. They do. So yeah, I just didn't love the like Azumarill of Tapu Fini. Just kind of like at best it's a mirror match in the front, and then losses in the back, and it's just like Flygon still causes a bit of trouble. So then I took like the best Pokemon that I saw in all the matchups that I did first, and I put them on a team together. And it was Empoleon, Flygon, and Scizor. And it was basically just like Empoleon handles the Tapu Fini, Azumarill because you resist all their moves and you hit neutral with Steel Wing and neutral with Jorpek. Plus you have some like as the half water, half steel, you're like neutral to fire and stuff like that. So it just seemed to work. Like it seemed very safe. And then Flygon also seemed very safe. And as you're gonna see Flygon like sweep a couple of these matchups because it is just so spammy. I did actually TM away my Earth Power, which is a community move, because Scorching Sands is like kind of better for it. Just PvP things, I guess. And then Scizor, because I was just like, oh yeah, this thing can actually go pretty crazy against some of these Pokemon too. So there are some sort of like weaknesses, combos of the front and back you're going to see come through in the later matchups. But in the lead matchup, we got a Dragon. That Dragon does have access to Thunder Punch now, but neutral Steel Wings, neutral Jilpek, resisted Dragon Breath, advantage for me for sure. I will shield up this move and get off another move because I know they're probably close to a second Thunder Punch. So just going to get this off to take it out or grab a shield. And then if I remember, they shield. So then I am just going to commit that second shield here because I'll have energy coming out and I'll take switch, which I think is a good combo to have in this situation. So down shields, but have switch, have energy. And I'm like, Skarmory. Oh, Skarmory is really tough from my backline because Flygon has only resisted move. And at best I have Night Slash on Scizor. So I was just like, oh, crap. Luckily, they let the first one go, and luckily, they let the second one go too. So back-to-back moves there. Absolutely huge to land both of those. They eventually Brave Bird and take me out. That's fine. I can now just come in here, and what's in the back? A Fairy. Watch me almost blow this. Everything's resisted. I was trying to like boost my attack, but I'm like, oh yeah, this thing has Flamethrower now. Unfortunately, too late for me to recognize that. So instead of grabbing a shield or taking this low enough to play in Mudshot range, I now have to have Flygon try and sweep here. And they get a move, and I was like, oh crap, if it's a Fairy move, I'm done. And it's just an energy ball, so that was huge. So now I can farm up to the double Dragon Claw almost. So get the first Dragon Claw off here, and then I'll go one shot and Dragon Claw to finish off the Skarmory. So just the Mudshot combo on Flygon is so spammy, and we're going to see it help me like take a few of these other matchups too. So Empoleon and Azumarill, this is a good lead, right? Because Bubble resisted. All 3 charge moves are resisted. I'm doing neutral here, so it's advantage to me. As you can see, by the spinning and the stuttering and the freaking lag, it is back with a full force here. And I was, honestly, if this was not a league turnover and it was just like Great League, Ultra League, Master League again, I would have stopped playing because it was just that bad. But I know that people actually kind of want Fantasy Cup to a certain extent. I don't think a ton of people are going to be playing it in the long run. I think it'll probably get bored after a couple days, but I think people wanted to change from Great League just based on my stats from again, Great League was just on multiple times. So it makes sense that people aren't clicking on the top Great League teams video, but just to give you, a look at the view counts from today. Oops, that's not view counts. Where are my views? My top Great League team has 2,100, and the Fantasy Cup has double that, 4,300. So there is some looking this way. And speaking about domination, here is Flygon just absolutely killing it. I tried to catch her. You can see me try and catch, but this again, the lag, it cost me a little. Again, it cost me a little bit. I'm not counting, so I don't know the true numbers. But luckily, just the resisted bullet punch, and then the Night Slash is enough to take out the Reggie, and it's very spammy and very hard hitting. And then I get the attack boost, which I don't even get to use. Another good lead, and we'll play it out the same way, and it is Stun Fist. So I'm going to throw this Hydro, grab a shield to do great chip, and then we'll go into Flygon. Why am I laughing? That's not Flygon. What are you doing? You idiot. I know it's not Flygon. It was a misclick. I was at my daughter's soccer game on the sideline. Not soccer game. She's like 5, so it's just like learning how to play. And I was on the sidelines playing and half watching her, half playing this. And just was not paying attention. And I clicked Scizor. They both kind of have wings, right? So I wanted to come in Flygon. Unfortunately, I did not. So I still have a shield advantage. Took that out. Here comes the Scorching Sand. Sands. Chip it to almost 50%. Now I can come in here. Here comes the Reggie. So I'm going to chip with Hydro. And they burn that last shield, which is kind of interesting. And now my win con is 2-shield Flygon here. So I'm going to come in here. I'm not too worried about the lock-ons. I will have to shield up a move just because I'm too low. So, and I'm pretty glassy. So Scorching Sands does not take out, get the attack fall, which again does not matter. But I will shield and try and farm all the way down here. And just the Mud Shot Scorching Sands combo is so deadly. They eventually come in a Azumarill, but the damage is done. I'm almost at 2 Scorching Sands already. There's the first one. Not quite enough to take out. I just get to the Dragon Claw. As you can see, barely can get it because of the stupid friggin' game. Dragon Claw enough to take out. Mud Shot down. Flygon is so strong in this meta. So I may play one more today, but it's definitely going to be with Flygon. I'll probably replace Scizor. I do like Empoleon Flygon, but there is... What was the problem? I ran into a problem today with it. Maybe they're in these battles here. We'll see. Okay, so you would think a good lead... I was worried about a Brave Bird because a Shadow Brave Bird probably wouldn't take me out, but it would put me very low. And then I threw a Drill Peck because I know they're low enough that this would take out, and I was worried that they would catch on an Azumarill. So that is why I threw the Drill Peck there. That one was not a mistake. That one was legit. Just me throwing a Drill Peck in case they tried to catch on a water Pokemon. So now I shielded up the Brave Bird correctly, and there's your Flygon. So come. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be mad here. Watch this. Okay, get the Hydro off. Okay, that's fine. They take me out. Okay, so now we should be aligned on fast move and charge move. So we should CMP on the Dragon Claw. And what should happen is the Dragon Claw will chip me 70% and I'll take them out. So here we go. We're aligned. We're aligned. We're aligned. Throw the Dragon Claw. Press the button. Lose CMP here. That's fine. We CMP'd. I'll live and take them out. But oh no, no. They somehow... We don't CMP, even though we have the same fast move and charge move. We somehow don't CMP, and they have enough time to switch into Togetic to take this move, which is complete friggin' BS. I was so pissed. This game is lagging like crazy. And here, I was just like, I'll just farm down. I'm like, oh no, I can't farm down. Oh no, they may have a move to take me out. Throw a move, throw a move, throw a move. I'm like, okay, don't throw a move. This may actually help me because now I need to farm down and get the Dragon Claw back that I should have already landed on this thing. So I farm down, resisted, get the Dragon Claw off. Not enough to take out, and we friggin' mud shot each other down. So I ended up tying that matchup, what I should have won very, very easy. But the game just did not allow me. This was a stupid play. Good news is there's another Sandslash matchup where I stay in. Definitely stay in. Steel Wing is neutral, and Hydro Cannon is neutral. As opposed to coming in here and have to take in a double super effective Ice Punch that they're going to outpace you in a second. So don't ever do what I just did there. That was a very, very, very bad move. So already down a shield, gave up switch for no stupid reason. In a terrible matchup here. This is as close to a top left as you're going to get so far because I am playing like garbage on this one. So I'll go down, I'll come in, I'll Steel Wing, I'll have some energy coming out. But I'm pretty sure they just absorb it on the back Pokemon. And then just let Sandslash like sweep with 2 shields. Yeah, don't get out of the lead matchup. Sandslash. That was the tough one because I saw it twice in these losses. So I started like the 3 wins and a tie. So I was 3-0-1. Should have been 4-0. So they just absorb it and pull it on and then go with Sandslash to sweep. So I started 3-0-1 and then I lost 3 or 4 straight to end here. And Sandslash was the problem because I ran into it again on the lead and I play it completely different as I should. So you'll see that in a minute. But it was like, oh yeah, that is kind of a core breaker there. I think you just kind of, I'll show you, you just stay in and try and chip it with Empoleon and stuff like that. Oh, I called a double, yeah. I remember calling the double bait here on the next one. Okay, anyways. Down a shield. This thing will one-shot me. This doesn't even take out from this range. And now they're going to take me out and this game's over. Turtonator. Turtonator is a tricky one. Actually, there's a 4th team I tried. I tried Turtonator for like 1 match. I think it was the team comp I didn't like. I think Turtonator in itself is okay. Because it's kind of bulky. Like a sneaky bulky. And these Incinerates do add up. So Flamethrower takes me out. So I just lost the 0 shield. So I come Flygon to try and farm down. I'm going to go Scorching Sands just to chip this. So then I can put it in Bullets, Punch, and Trailblaze range. And we are getting an insane amount of friggin' lag. It is... This channel, I'm very, very, very close to this channel being the only thing that's making me play GBL anymore. This thing will elite me in a second because Incinerate's double effective because I'm Bug and Steel. So that's just going to light me up in a second here. And I come in here, don't even get the move off because this game is broke. How can your game be this broken 18 seasons in? Like, it's pathetic. And they have no care in the world. And it's a Whimsicott, and that's a top left. And here is probably the other Sandslash. Yeah, let's talk about this before I go on my rants at the end. I'll go at the end of the video. I need a 2-3 minute rant at the end of the video. So here we go. Get to the move. Get a Hydro off. Like, so I get to the move at the same time. So Steel Wing is neutral and Hydro's neutral. So you should definitely stay in here. And then I actually call 2 baits too. So that was very lucky. How did I lose this matchup if I called 2 baits? What the heck happened here? So call 2 baits, get the Hydro off. I'm up shield and switch. How do I lose this match? Okay, Goodra. A little tough, but I can come Scizor and resist the Dragon Breath. They must have like a fairy or something in the back. Oh, they do. Yeah, I remember. So they take me low enough here, and they have like a Wiggly in the back, and the Wiggly just deletes Flygon. That's what happened. Had I shielded this, I would have won. Because I shielded and then I just like bullet punch down. But I let this go, and this thing is so glassy, and now the Wiggly comes in and just like takes me out here and then takes out my Flygon. That's, yeah, I remember. If not, I could just bullet punch the crap out of this and I would have won. So like Scissor has play because there's a decent amount of fairies in here. But yeah, I just couldn't do that there. Yeah, so what was that? If the lady, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. Like, I I don't get joy from GBL anymore. At this point, I take this aspect. I play GBL because I treat this YouTube channel as a second side job. That's the point I'm at with GBL. And it's the pure frustration out of the zero care that Niantic has for this game. How after 18 seasons, you don't think of anything new for the mechanics of the game, can't get the basic mechanics down, have an insane amount of lag that costs people games, just inconsistency throughout the game, and a meta that is just extremely stale, and leagues that are even more stale, but they don't switch them up, right? It's just like a combo of so many different factors that I used to love playing GBL. GBL was one of the only reasons I played Pokemon Go. And at this point, it's just like, I am just playing GBL to keep this channel going because we're a single income family right now. And I didn't even. Do you want to hear about the car issue? Okay, let's do this. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'm driving, and AC's on, and everything's working fine. And I make a turn, and I heard like a whooshing sound. I was like, "That's weird." But car operated fine. It was just like a weird sound, and it only happened on turns. I was like, "That's really weird." Okay, Fast forward 3 weeks, and I go in the car, and it smells like crap. It smells like rotten, moldy eggs. And my first thing was like, oh crap, because our kids sometimes eat in the back, and we've left like apples and stuff overnight and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, did we leave something here? And so like I looked around, there's like some food, so I pick it up. I'm like, oh, we got to be more careful. And then a couple days later, my wife was like, oh, it's really bad in there still. I'm like, I know. And so she looks under and is like, there's mold under this seat. I'm like, mold? She's like, yeah, I'll clean it. And then we look up like the car, the noise, the smell, and they're like, what seems to be a flaw is the AC drain valve. So the AC drain valve basically is if you ever see a puddle under your car, that's where the water from the AC drain valve drains when you're running your air conditioning. Well, guess where it ended up draining? It ended up draining in my car for 4 weeks. So we pulled up, we felt the carpet, and it's just soaking wet. And we didn't notice it because it's like we have the carpeted floor, right? So we pull up the front passenger side, and there's just like 2 inches of water underneath it. So I'm like, freak. It's throughout the entire floor. So I bring it into the shop. I'm just like, this is what happened. Can you like take out the seats and tear up the thing and like let me know like what? They're like, you need to go through insurance because this is going to be like a $10,000 job. So we go through insurance, and so they pulled up all that. They drained the water, and then their insurance. What happened was an insurance adjuster goes there to take pictures. And he goes there, and then I get the call the next day being like, we're writing this car off. It's like $10,000 in repairs before we even tackle the mold issue. And we don't know how much the mold issue is going to cost. And we don't know that even if we spray and get all the mold now, like the mold could have seeped into the spores of the seats. So we're writing this car off, and I'm just like, we only have one car. So right now I'm renting a car out of my own pocket. So it's just like, okay, so I get the email from the actual insurance company, and they're like, we'll call you on Monday to talk about all the steps. Basically, they're gonna write off the car. They'll give me a check for some like the residual, like the value of the car minus like some deductibles, and then they take possession of the car, and then I gotta go get all this stuff, like my personal belongings, out of the car, and then we don't have a car, so I need to buy a new car. So we'll see how much money I get out of it. Anyways, all that to say, it was like, we're gonna go on a long life talk here. We have had the worst string of, I'm going to call it mediocre bad luck. And what I mean by that is so many little, not little, but in the grand scheme of things, not life-altering things have happened. So my daughter was in junior kindergarten for the first time this year. She missed 30% of her school days because she was sick. So she was on, off sick, home for like a week, back to school for a week, home for 3 days, back to school for 7 days, home for 8 days, like full September to June, sick 30% of the day, which is why you saw in my videos I got sick a lot, because she was just in and out of sickness. My wife, 10 years ago, passed out in a fast food restaurant and smashed her face on the like the glass, like the cat, like the shell, like not shelving, like the counter, and it jammed her tooth into her mouth. So they had to like pull it out, and they had to like pull the tooth out, and she got implants there, but they saved one of them. Well, that one, 10 years later, her body rejected it, and it was just like causing her pain. So they had to pull that, and then we had to get a year. So she had no tooth, and then she had to get an implant. And that was like a 6 to 12 month process. And then the implant failed after like 2 weeks. She's like, something's not right with it. It doesn't feel like the other. She has 2 implants already. And now they put the third in. She's like, something's not right. It doesn't feel like the other ones. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor basically just pulled it out. So it didn't work. So then they had to like bridge her teeth. And then this car thing now. So now we don't have a car. And we've been a single income for like 3 or 4 years now, because my wife's been home with the kids, because she made the decision that 2 kids in daycare versus like her going back. We would still make more money if she went back net, because she would make more than it would cost to go 2 in daycare. But 2 kids in daycare, plus like the logistics of like both of us working, and then having to like figure drop off and pick up stuff was like a headache. So she's just like, I'll just stay until they're both in school, and then she'll go back. And now this car issue, and it's just like, it's been like 2 years of just like all this stuff where it's just like bad stuff. But it's not like someone has cancer or someone's dying or something like that. It's enough to cause us stress and financial pain and mental pain, but not enough to like actually cause a huge like detriment to our health and well-being, sort of thing. But it's just like, give us a freaking break. It's been like 2 years of this like nonstop. Like when my son was born, he had what was it called? What's this very scary babies with RSV. RSV is respiratory syncytial virus, and includes difficulty breathing, essentially. So when my wife took him to the hospital, and they put him on a mask, and basically for a week, when he was like 4 months old, he got it when he was really young, RSV. For 4 months, my wife and I took turns holding him at night while he slept, because we were worried that he would stop breathing. So like my wife would take the like 10 to 2 a.m. shift, and then I would take the 2 till whatever shift for like a week, until it eventually like got out of his system. And it's been just like, again, that was kind of scary, but like it's not like life changing in the bad way, but it's just like, oh, so many of these little things have added up over time. Anyways, in conclusion, why am I still to wrap it all up? Yeah, life has been, and again, life is overall good, right? When you look at us objectively, we have a house we have a mortgage, but we have a house in the suburbs. We had a car, don't anymore. We had a car, house in the suburbs, 2 kids that are, besides sicknesses in school and this RSV and stuff like that, generally healthy, knock on wood. So overall, we're good. And I make decent money. Why we've been able to stay afloat on all this stuff is just I make good money in the public service. I make way more in the private sector if I went to the private sector, but I trade off working in the public sector to get good benefits, good pension, and good work hours, and just leave a little bit of money on the table. So that money plus what I make here, which again is not a lot, but it's not insignificant, has been carrying us. So why am I why did I just go into that long story? One is just I feel like I need to just get it off my chest, and you guys like these getting to know you parts. The second thing is she's going back to work September of next year. So not in a month. Our youngest is he's turning 3 in October. So he will be going to school the following September when he's just about to turn 4. So she'll be off for another 13 months. So for the next 13 months, you better believe I'm still trying to pull in this money. When she goes back to work in 13 months, if this game is anywhere near the state it is currently in, and Niantic has put no effort into changing the meta, no effort into changing the leagues, no effort into fixing the bugs, no effort into changing any sort of the mechanics to make it more fun, I would not be surprised that I would just be I'm done making videos. Because again, I treat this like a job right now, and I love the community. I read all the comments. So I do enjoy the community aspect of it. I don't enjoy the GBL, and I don't enjoy making the videos, quite honestly. Because it is just again, you've heard my schedule, right? I'm pumping out 2 videos a day that I basically put together and shoot. It is currently 10:33 p.m. So from 8 p.m. when I get my kids to bed till 11, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing these videos, and if we're both working and this game does not bring me joy, it'd probably bring me joy 3 hours of just chilling at night and maybe start working out again, or just freaking watch TV and just relax. There's so many things I want to be doing besides making a video for a sub part of a game that the company who owns this game does not care about, right? Anyways, that's my rant. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't been doing titles, but maybe I'll label this one as an epic life story and rant here. Anyways, that is it. I gotta go upload and do all these titles and thumbnails and everything now. So see you guys in, when does this go live? 7:30? 9 hours. See ya.